Welcome back to Web Development with AngularJS and Bootstrap. In this bonus video, we are going to integrate a third-party open source library for a better user experience, commonly abbreviated to UX. All the important details in this video are covered later on in the course, so you can feel free to skip this and/or come back to it later. First, let's have a look at what this component is. Open up github.com/dmacromad/angular better placeholders. And if we can open this in another tab, we can see a demo of what it is and what it does. If we look at this page here, this is fairly standard for what you can expect from most AngularJS component projects. It's important to note here that all AngularJS projects referred to in this video have their own copyright licenses that you should check before including them in your projects. Now let's get started with the code. First, let's copy over the CSS and JavaScript content into our project and include them in our main HTML page. If you're using this video's code bundle, I have already set this up for you here. To get this working in our project, first we need to tell the app what to load in. We do this by switching over to our script page and adding in Angular better placeholder in the module definition, like that. Next, we need to tell Angular where to place this directive. There are three ways that Angular can be told where to use a directive: as a class, an element, or an attribute. To figure out which ones are supported, we'll look at the Angular better placeholders JavaScript file. And specifically, we'll look at the restrict key here. In this case, there is only a capital C here, which means that it can be used only as a class. The other options are A for attribute and E for element. This can be any combination of the above or omitted completely to allow all of them. Now that we know how the directive is going to be used, let's switch over to the HTML view and use it. Let's find the input fields. Check that they have a placeholder value, and then add the better placeholder class. Next, we want to remove the label tags as they can get in the way here. And I'm going to do the same for the password field. If we look at our page now, we can see that the layout is much cleaner, and if we enter text, we can see that the color of the label changes and its position moves out of the way in a much nicer fashion than your traditional placeholder. We now have some very slick and compact input boxes. If you want to do some more reading about how this input type is evolving on the web, have a look at google.com/design/spec/components/textfields.html and the text fields floating labels. That concludes our section on getting input. If you're interested in looking at more resources like this, have a look at ngmodules.org for a big list of modules available for Angular. In the next section, we'll be looking at validating and submitting data in a form.